What's going on, my fellow handicappers? This is Weekend Handicapper from weekendhandicapper.com. I'm excited. I've been excited about making this video because the Breeders' Cup, as a fan of horse racing, as a handicapper, you can't get more challenging and more exciting than the Breeders' Cup Classic. So in this video, we are going to look at the Breeders' Cup Classic contenders and preview the race. If you like betting the Breeders' Cup, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below if you like betting the Breeders' Cup and what are some of your favorite Breeders' Cup memories. Mine, I was there. Fortunately, I was there when Blame beat Zenyatta. That was an amazing race, an exciting race, and for me, still to this day, the best race I've seen in person, like with the derbies and stuff. Well, like especially if you're in the infield, you don't know what's going on. You can't see the race. You just see drunk people everywhere. But that race, I was right there, not too far from the finish line, and down the stretch seeing Zenyatta and Blame battle it out. So that would be one of my favorite Breeders' Cup memories. So go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know your favorite memory. Whether or not you watch it on TV or in person, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's get going. So this is a preview as I record this October 12th, 2020. A lot of things could change. Maybe some of these horses can't race in the Breeders' Cup by the time the race rolls around. But I'm going to keep giving updates, so make sure you subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell so you can get the latest updates and all the videos that I put out, so it can help you win money not only on the Breeders' Cup, but in horse racing in general. All right, so here we go. Let's look at these horses. Improbable. Bob Baffert trained horse. Been on an amazing streak here lately. He's just beat Maximum Security. It won the Whitney, won the Awesome Against Stakes. It's coming into this race. Really good form. Definitely give special consideration to Improbable. Definitely peaking at the right time for this race, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Tom's Day Tot, we were talking about Blame. Well, this trainer, Al Stahl, trained Blame. And Tom's Day Tot, 7-year-old. Yes, 7 years old in this race. That's like me in sports terms, I think, trying to hold my own against these young bucks out there in other sports, in human sports. So 7, goodness sake, Tom's Day Tot still bringing it on the. Maybe it's like Tom Brady or Drew Brees of the horse racing of horses. But it won the Stephen Foster this year, and it's been competitive. But we'll see if this old guy can hang with these young bucks in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Tom's Day Tot. All right, Maximum Security. We all know Maximum Security's storied, drama-filled racing career, but it's just coming off a loss. Maximum Security, I remember I made a video about it in 2019, Florida Derby. That very, very memorable win for me, and in my handicapping career, turned out pretty well for me. So you can check out that video if you wanted to. Had Max, and I had the exacta in that one. So, but Max has won a lot since then, but it's just coming off a loss. Now, what's interesting about Maximum Security is, yeah, it's coming off with a loss, but does that matter? I made a video about Maximum Security losing a few weeks ago after it lost to its stablemate, Improbable, in the Awesome Again Stakes. But does that matter? Meaning, was that race just a tune-up for this race, the Breeders' Cup Classic? So does it technically bounce back from that loss, or that was just a prep for this race, the Breeders' Cup Classic? So that's going to be a good storyline. Tiz the Law, speaking of storylines, Skip the Preakness, coming off the layoff, or coming off some rest, from coming in second in the Kentucky Derby. We all know Tiz the Law has had a wonderful year, and it needed a well-deserved rest, in my opinion. So let's see if Tiz the Law can redeem itself on a huge stage, the Breeders' Cup Classic, against these wonderful horses. So that's an intriguing storyline. Long-awaited return of Tiz the Law coming back, and can he get the crown against these? I mean, you can't get better than these horses in the Breeders' Cup. No doubt about it. Authentic. Speaking of redemption, can Authentic redeem himself? The Kentucky Derby winner, Authentic, who beat Tiz the Law in the Kentucky Derby, but was beaten by Swiss Skydiver in the Preakness. Came in second in the Preakness. So can Authentic bounce back from the Preakness loss? I think it comes a lot with Authentic. It's going to come down to pace scenarios. It's been shown and proven that on the front end or near the front is where Authentic wants to be. Can that horse get that kind of pace scenario and that kind of trip in the Breeders' Cup Classic? So we'll see if that plays out. So that's going to be interesting to see. But Authentic for sure is a contender in the Breeders' Cup Classic. By my standards, next horse we will look at, trained by Brett Calhoun, second into Stephen Foster, second into Whitney, first into Ali Sheba. We'll see if By My Standards is in over its head against these horses. I want to say, yeah, I don't know if it can compete up there with these horses. Maybe underneath, but we'll see. I would be very surprised if By My Standards wins the 2020 Breeders' Cup Classic. Swiss Skydiver, the filly's going to take on the boys again. Proved she can do it in the Preakness. But you add on some other more mature horses, some veterans here that I would be super impressed by Swiss Skydiver if she won this race. I was impressed by her winning the Preakness, but I wasn't shocked that the horse could win the Preakness. But against these horses, I would be I wouldn't say shocked, but I'd be very surprised if Swiss Skydiver could pull off another one. I think a large credit's due to the jockey, Robbie Alvarado, on what kind of race he rode in the Preakness with Swiss Skydiver, Kim McPeak, getting that horse ready. But she's stepping up in class, in my opinion, even more so in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Global Campaign, the Woodward winner, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Global Campaign can get it done. If you think so, leave a comment below. I'd like to hear some of the reasons that you might think Global Campaign has a shot, but I'm not so sure about Global Campaign. I think there's some big heavy hitters in here that probably will have the better chance of winning it. Midcourt, John Sheriff trains this horse. Hasn't won since February. And when we're talking about horses projecting upward or trending upward and trending downward or staying about the same, I think Midcourt's the latter. It's got a lot of thirds and seconds, but again, it hasn't won since February. Not sure how it compares to these other well-established horses with better recent form, recent victories in this field. Talking about trending upward, Happy Saver. This Todd Pletcher trained horse is very, very, very intriguing. When I made the Preakness preview, where I looked at the contenders well before the race went off, or the few days before the race, so I made it weeks in advance. Happy Saver was a possible runner in the Preakness. Of course, it didn't run, but in that video, I talked about it. I was very curious about this horse. It was undefeated at the time, still undefeated, just won on Saturday, October 10th in the Jockey Gold Cup Stakes at Belmont. Be wary of an undefeated horse. This horse is undefeated. It's maturing, coming into its own at the right time, I think. It's been well handled by trainer Todd Pletcher, who is we know, a super trainer, Hall of Fame trainer. I'm very confident in Todd Pletcher on how he handles his horses. So if he decided to skip the Preakness because he needed this horse spaced out a little bit more, get it ready in the Jockey Gold Cup, go for the big bucks in the Breeders' Cup, I gotta have faith in Todd. Todd, we trust. So I think this horse is going to be your wise guy horse. I know this guy, not every now and then I'm wise, every now and then I'm not, is very intrigued by Happy Saver. So keep your eye on that horse. I think it's going to get a lot of smart money. I think if this horse has a shot at these more well-known established horses. So Happy Saver is a very, very intriguing horse. Higher Power. I think John Sadler, who trains this horse, and the horse might need some higher power against this field. Of course, a West Coast horse doesn't seem to be trending in the right direction. So we have Happy Saver going like this and Probable going like this. Your Higher Power is just kind of going idle, so to speak, or maybe even on the decline. I'd be shocked if this horse won the race. Good horse, don't get me wrong, but against these horses, I'm not sure, unless the pace scenario shapes out for it. And then Art Collector, finally Art Collector. I was disappointed in Art Collector. In the Preakness, I thought that horse would run a lot better than it did coming off the layoff. I bet it, so of course I was pulling for it, cheering it on. Art Collector has been good to me this whole year, but it didn't do well in the Preakness. Now, can Tom Drury Jr., the trainer of Art Collector, can he get this horse ready second off a layoff? And you can easily check the stats, trainer stats, in that category, that particular trainer, Tom Drury Jr. See how well he does second off a layoff. Is that something he excels at statistically? Or is it not impressive or average, or he doesn't do well at? So Art Collector was coming off a layoff, didn't fire pretty good enough in the Preakness. So let's hope, if you bet on that horse, it can improve drastically in the Breeders' Cup. Now, one good thing going for Art Collector, it's won the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland. And Keeneland is where the Breeders' Cup's going to be, so it likes the track, we can safely assume. So, if you like Art Collector, you got to see how well that horse has been training and how well the trainer does second off the layoff. All right, so in my mind, when it comes to this year's Breeders' Cup Classic, you got redemption stories such as Tiz the Law, bouncing back from the second place in the Kentucky Derby. Authentic, bouncing back from the second place in the Preakness. You got Maximum Security, bouncing back when it got beat by its stablemate Improbable in Awesome Against Stakes. You got those kind of stories to these horses, big name horses trying to redeem themselves. Then you got the filly, Swiss Skydiver. Can she beat the boys, even bigger class, a higher class of boys in the Breeders' Cup Classic? Can she beat the boys again? That's intriguing to me. Then you got the ones that are projecting up. Improbable, can he keep winning like he's been doing? As long as he acts right and don't get go nuts in the gate or act silly before post time, he's got a good shot. You got horses like Happy Saver, very intriguing horse that is trending undefeated, that is trending upwards and on a heck of a streak. So all of these, Art Collector trying to bounce back from that disappointing loss. So you got these kind of stories, which makes this race very intriguing, and which is why these races are very enjoyable to watch as a fan and very enjoyable to bet as a horse player and a handicapper. So there's our first update about this year's Breeders' Cup Classic. You let me know in the comments below who your early pick is to win this year's Breeders' Cup Classic, who you like. And if you like these videos, hit the like button, that subscribe button, so you get all the latest tips, tools, and resources to help you win money on thoroughbred horse racing. All right, until next time, happy handicapping, smart wagering.